To the surface. Some moss.
What are you doing on the surface, young lady? How will you survive? Surely you know your line is bound beneath the earth. Your strength is better spent against our foes down there.
What?
As the ill-fated princess feels her life force fade with every breath of surface air, her sole recourse is to return from whence she came.
What?
You made it to the surface after all. I figured that you might. It's maybe even colder here than down below, but that, at least, we can fix right away, I think.
How can I...
Just a moment. You traveled to the surface, knowing full well the fates decided long ago that those of your line could not survive there and would always be forced back to the underworld.
Their curse was palpable. I never intended to stay for long, just long enough to lend my relatives support. But it seems your sisters insist that I do no such thing.
Well, I don't see them around right now, do you? Incidentally, there was once an incantation that I happened upon, which was not intended for my eyes, but I now choose to think that it was intended for yours. Farewell.
Unraveling a fateful bond. I couldn't breathe. The way you can breathe out of water, so too could I breathe the surface air.
Princess.
Thank you for visiting me last night, Lord Moros. So, hypothetically, if I were to complete a certain incantation that somehow loosened the grip the three fates have on my birthright, how angry would they be?
Please understand, Princess, that I am not at liberty to give advice on matters such as that, not even hypothetically. I trust I've been sufficiently direct in putting it this way?
In other words, we shouldn't be talking about this at all, and I assume all risk for my actions related to any potentially forbidden incantations that I've learned.
Yes, that covers it.
Returned again. You visited the surface. I can't imagine that played out particularly well. At least you made it back at all.
It was draining. Even at night, something about being under the stars, I didn't know there were so many. It was more than I could take. You were right.
A lesson learned and an experience gained. The fates themselves do not want you up there. What shall you do?
I have an incantation to complete. I don't need to stay forever on the surface. I just need to hold on long enough to make it to Olympus.
Ah, then you seek to improve this aspect of yourself without rejecting it outright. I see how that may work.
It has to. Cooking away for now. Hail, broker. Lord Charon's gold rewards. Nemesis must have a head start.
Up and about? The Good Witch always figured you would make your way up to the mortal realm. Once you were ready and the situation called for it. Well done.
She warded the pathway there, until such time as I had the means to pass through. The climate on the surface is another matter.
Your underworld birthright stuff getting in the way? A curse, not just a blessing, it would seem. Well, if your witchery got you this far, surely it can aid with this predicament.
That's the plan.
Not even the wiles and stratagems of that resourceful sacker of cities, Odysseus, may be sufficient to overcome the Titan of Time.
They say never to underestimate that man.
Come on.
May we converse? Patience, young one. You were most brave to venture to the surface, and most foolhardy as well, debatably. Is there no incantation that could help?
I think there is, Commander, except it calls for reagents that can only be found up there. But how am I supposed to gather them before the incantation is complete?
Mayhaps just make a run for it, I don't know. So what if you can't stay long? Just grab what you need and get out of there.
It's not ideal, but...